So I'll keep my ear to the ground and see if I can scope out any more dissonance. But I'm thinking that once the men hear that you were one step ahead of Medina and that he's no longer around, they'll fall in line.
You did good, Rick. Give me that heads up.
You'll seem a little surprised. Is that because I knew about the ambush or I told you about it?
Maybe both. I mean, but it doesn't really matter because you proved yourself to me and I accept you into the business, so that's good for a day's work, isn't it?
Absolutely. I need to talk to Sonny alone.
Well, you can speak freely in front of Rick.
Since when?
Since my brother saved my life.
Trusted.
You know, it's a new day.
You know, it's the same crap, Sonny. Something happens, Rick shows up, sucks up to you, plays the half-brother card, something happens again, and he moves on. Don't try to explain, Sonny. Jason has a limited capacity to grasp the complexities of human dynamics. It's not his fault. It's just no context. Look, Jason, let me put it this way. People can change based on situational... I'm sorry. Am I losing you here? Let me put it another way for you, okay? Conditions change, right? Anthony Zacchara is no longer part of the equation. And since nature abhors a vacuum, that space has got to get filled. A new order develops where one-time enemies can become allies.
Let me fill you in. I had a meeting with one of, Anthony's old lieutenants, okay? It was a trap. They were going to waste me to make a run for their own territory. If it hadn't been for Rick, you'd be planning my funeral right now.
Set the whole thing up.
No, I checked it out. By the way, Bruno Medina disappeared.
All right, I'll follow up. No, it's okay. It's already been taken care of. But I'm sure Sonny can find something else for you to do. Be in touch. You tell me you're not serious.
You're right. Glad to know you got my back.
You don't make it easy, with Rick hanging around here all the time.
I know who and what I'm dealing with.
Okay. But why is he still around?
You ever hear the expression, keep your friends closer and your enemies even closer? Rick hates me, you know that. For his lousy childhood, always has. That's a given. But there's something else going on. He had a good thing going when he worked for Anthony. Money, power, position. I come in a picture. He's got nothing. He's going to blame me like he always does. He's going to try to take me down. But at least this way, I see him coming. I'm not going to give him anything that can come back and bite us. You know I wouldn't do that.
It doesn't feel right. Rick could have set up the ambush to make himself look good. We can't prove that he didn't. With all due respect, do you think your head's in the right place?
My head's in the right place. I'm not sprouting.
Okay, I just think that you might have more invested in Michael's possible recovery than you anticipated. That can be distracting. It can be disappointing. If Rick's around here, he's going to take advantage of that. Not to mention Claudia here.
Seriously? Seriously. I'm okay.
I'd like to keep it that way.
Rick stays. For now.
Your call. Just keep him away from me.
Hi, Jason. How you doing? It's good to talk to you, too. You really should teach him some manners.
Jason hates Rick, but at least it's consistent. It's not like somebody else that I know. I'm not going to name any names.
Okay, you know what? Let me just be clear. I did not suggest that you bring Rick back into the organization because I think he's a great guy suddenly. I just think that we can utilize him until he becomes a problem.
Then what?
Then we get rid of him. Or we sit back and wait and watch while someone else does it. Give it a week or two. There will be plenty of volunteers.
All right, I'm gonna be gone the rest of the afternoon. Do me a favor. Don't underestimate Rick, because he's like a cockroach. Can't get rid of him.
You okay?
This is where I'm supposed to say yes, right? I'm in denial, or I'm trying to act strong. Well, you know what? I am sick of being in denial, and I don't really feel that strong right now. So I'll just admit it. I am a failure as a wife, as a mother. I don't understand why this is happening. I wanted to have a baby. I wanted to get married. So why has everything gone so wrong? I mean, I do get that I'm responsible for turning our lives upside down, but I also get that I have a disorder that compels me. So, you know, what came first, the chicken or the egg? I don't know.
What do you mean?
Meaning that I may have postpartum depression, but those symptoms have been a part of my nature all along. I mean, I've always set high expectations for myself. I've always been an overachiever. I don't know, maybe that's just an excuse for the truth, which is a lot simpler, which is, you know, what kind of monster looks at her little girl and doesn't want to kiss her and hold her and love her?
Hold on. You were not a monster.
No, that's up for debate. On the other hand, Patrick is the most sensitive man that I've ever met, in a very logical and sort of detached way. I know that sounds like a contradiction, but it's true. I mean, he saw it from the beginning. He tried to get me to open up, and I just felt judged. But that's in the past, right? I mean, now I've finally admitted that I have a problem, and I thought that we could work on this problem together. But instead, he's just, I don't know, he's all about being vindicated or something. And I just end up feeling judged all over again.
I think that, I mean, this has got to be hard on Patrick. It is absolute hell to see someone that you love sick and you can't do anything about it.
Right, but would you go and make the problem worse? Because that's exactly what Patrick did when he went blabbing his mouth all over town about it.
It seems that this has been hell for you. And it's got to be the same for Patrick. Because I remember when Carly had postpartum, and I'll never forget, I mean, the look on her face when she realized that she couldn't even touch her own baby. And I would have done anything for her. But there was nothing I could do.
I know this has to be really hard on Patrick. But telling Carly, come on, I know she's your best friend, but you know our history.
Yeah, but what does it matter? Carly suffers from the same disorder as you. If she can give Patrick some advice that could help you both, why not? Why not? Take it.
I don't know. I just wish Patrick was more like you, less morally superior and more supportive.
Well, I don't know Patrick well. But I do know that he's a good doctor and he's a good guy. And right now he may not be doing or saying everything right. But I'm sure all he wants is for you to get better.
As you know, I've known